Nigeria Info.
We are the nation's number one talk station, 99.3 Nigeria Info, Lagos, Nigeria, top of the morning to you. It's 5 minutes past the hour of 8 on a Friday morning. It's wet. I always say that anytime it rains, please ensure that you drive very carefully. If you're commuting from one point to the other in Lagos, there are potholes that will disguise because water spill them up. Please be very careful, especially in areas you're not familiar with. Overspeeding is quite dangerous. You're welcome. I'm Sheriff. You can watch us live on Facebook and on YouTube right now. You're most welcome to do that. And we want to concentrate on irregular migration this morning, okay? And the reason for this is to bring to light some of the things that you don't know, some of the things that you should know about what irregular migration is all about. And this information will do everybody a great deal of good. Please so follow us on Facebook, where we're streaming live, Nigeria Info 99.3, and also on YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3 as well. And let's know if you've been through irregular migration before and you'd like to share your experience. You're very, very welcome to do that. Would like to get your thought on what it was like. If you're a survivor, we would like to get your thought. If you're listening to us from outside the country, please let us know what it was, how it was, for you. I have joining us on the show today none other than the country representative, the chief of mission of IOM to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I have talking about I've seen him on quite a number of occasions. It's not the first time that he will come on radio, to be very honest with you. But I also like the fact that he is coming on the morning crossfire this morning. And please help me welcome our guest this morning. I've been looking forward to this. To be very honest with you, I've been looking forward to this interview, really. I've been looking forward to it. I have Laurent, the Boeck here. Mr. Laurent, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Thank you for having us on IOM conversation this morning, because I'd always love to know more about irregular migration. Because my people, Nigerians, I'm sure you're familiar with the Jackpot syndrome.
I do.
Everybody wants to Jackpot. Right. So, and I believe in information. I mean, if you want to travel out, it's okay. It's fine. Absolutely. But be armed with the requisite information that you need. So, to break things down for us, Mr. Laurent, take us through what irregular migration is. Case in point, the most recent one, the boat disaster in Greece.
Yeah, this is an unfortunate reminder to us of the inhumane situation people go through, actually, when they want to Japa and are not ready. They may actually indeed take risks which are above their understanding. And I think a few people realize, actually, the danger they put themselves into. And what is a little bit shocking to me is the fact that people are taking money from them to do so. So basically, to me, it's, in summary, you pay to die. There is high risk that actually you end up in extremely complex situation. The worst being this one, and it's quite unfortunate as an organization that we have to witness this, despite the fact that we are informing the people on the danger, on the fact that there are people who may have or show good intention in trying to respond to their most beautiful needs, but behind there are actually bad intentions. And even if they pass through and they arrive, I don't think that people actually understand that they will end up in irregular situation, which makes them, again, put them in very vulnerable situation. They can be easily abused because they don't have the right paper.
Right. Well, what's the state of things when you talk about irregular migrants, especially in Nigeria? I've heard, different stories. What can you tell us about their plight, their predicament?
Well, there are different stages where they may face issues. It's never that it's a straightforward trip. It's not that you enter in a plane and enter in a country smoothly. So you may have to go through a series of routes which are a little bit dangerous. You may end up in a country like in Libya. We find a lot of Nigerians there. They become stranded because it's not foreseen that they have to pay more on the way. So if at the beginning when they leave, they may say it's $2,000 to pass, when they end up in Libya, it suddenly become double. So they have to start working. They maybe
Things that they were not told initially.
exactly. So, but they have no other choice. Now they are in a country that they don't know, they don't speak the language, and they have basically to go to people and say, okay, how can I pay more? So they will have to actually start working. That work is not pleasant, and it's certainly abused. So accompanied to that, it's very unfortunate, but a lot of women are sexually abused. Some are forcibly prostituted. So there are a series of facts which are really inhumane and degrading the dignity. What is, I'm always astonished is the fact that even the survivors who come back, they speak about it, but still people don't believe, and it's like they have to go through, or they believe that they are above everyone and then they can succeed. And
You still find people who think that in that kind of situation they can avoid it, they can do better, they can withstand it.
exactly that. Everybody is unique, and I
Yeah.
understand, but if repeatedly you hear the same stories, I think it's worth to actually question it. And it's not to abandon the idea to go, but to get prepared. And that's what we repeat. We have website information. We have, and that's what I appreciate here in Nigeria, there are quite a lot of youth who went through it. They came back, so they survived it. And then when they come back, they say, okay, it's not enough that now I take care of myself, but I have to pass the message to others. It's really beautiful that they organize associations, and they themselves become the messengers to the others.
To spread the message.
So if people don't like to listen to a government or to an institution like ours, at least they should hear their peers who say, like, guys, it's not as it is mentioned. It's difficult. And I've met some people here who said, I changed my mind because I heard them. And they started working with them. So the money they wanted to invest in passing through, they just basically started a business here, and they stay here.
Beautiful.
And that's
Beautiful.
nice. But what I'm always a bit worried about is the number. How many actually are changing their mind, and versus how many are still trying. And it's not only Nigeria. We cannot condemn them. I think it's normal. Everybody everybody has dreams, wants to have a beautiful life.
Right.
I'm not sure it's the right choice to do it without being prepared. That's what we say. Get prepared. Get the right paper. It's true, it's difficult, but nothing. If it's easy, it's not fun. So let's make it happening rightly.
Yeah.
Let's get prepared. Let's get the skills. Countries are asking for people. So there are opportunities, it's true. But those opportunities require preparation.
Right. Mr. Laurent, let's talk about IOM's intervention areas. What are these areas?
Well, worldwide or in Nigeria?
In Nigeria, yeah.
It's quite vast, actually. So basically, to summarize, we try to provide to any person on the move or willing to be on the move the right path. And so it can start with developing the right policy with the government and the institutions, so changing the law.
Okay.
It might be in the country, but obviously talking about migration means that it's Nigeria and other countries. So we work on legal migration. So how can we identify ways for people to go? What are the conditions? We look at the documentation, what papers they need. But then each time you have one aspect which is positive, you have to look at the negative aspects. So we work on counterfeit, like there are a lot of fake documents, and that prevent people to trust others. So if you travel with a fake paper, it means the country has to verify, so they will become suspicious in future. So we have always to work on that, to balance this trust between countries.
Okay.
So because of we work on legal migration, we have also to work on countering irregular migration, and it goes with him the smuggling, the trafficking. Again, the same. It's not punishing the people. To us, they are victims. It's punishing the traffickers. So we need to work with the law enforcement and put people together and exchanging information. We work on displacement. You know, you mentioned it's raining. Unfortunately, the rains is quite important in the country, in some areas in particular. So we work on floods and how people have to actually move and relocate for a certain period. So we support those displaced people. There are some areas in the country, in the northeast in particular, where you have conflicts and tensions. It displaces a lot of people. Some millions of people. We'll find them housing. We provide them with the services, or we provide them back with the services that they had before. So it's quite large portfolio in number of people we deal with. We try now to engage the diaspora. You know, there are Nigerians who have succeeded outside the country. We try to call them for engaging in supporting their peers here. Also passing the right message that it's possible to succeed abroad, but under what conditions. So they have also to because they have quite a high responsibility also on passing the right messages to those who are willing to go abroad.
Right. Mr. Laurent, let me quickly announce this, that if you're listening to us and you've been through this before, irregularly, you've tried to leave this country, you've left this country, perhaps you're back now or you're still there, would like to hear from you. If you're listening from outside the shores of the country, please put a call through on our Skype. Skype ID is Nigeria Info FM. On Skype. That's Nigeria Info FM on Skype. If you'd like to call into the studio, I'm directly addressing those who have been through that for now. We'll open up the telephone for general public to react as well much later on. But I'd like to get the thought of people, Nigerians who've been through this treacherous journey before, especially those that survived it, and their experience. Would like to hear it. But before we get to that, Mr. Laurent, let me ask you about why it's been so difficult to tackle the slave traders, the people smugglers in Libya, in Morocco, maybe. Why has it been that difficult to do?
Well, it's difficult because
it's almost like it's impossible to do.
I hope it's not impossible, but we are still working on that. Actually, it requires quite a high level of coordination and exchange of information between a lot of institutions and people, not only in one country, but between countries. And the legal frameworks are not always adapted to do so. So if you have a law enforcement agency in a country doing an investigation, they are limited to share information with another country by law. So that's what we are doing as well as an intergovernmental organization, is putting together countries, institutions to exchange information. If you notice that there is a route in a country, that needs to be shared with the others for them to, on the other side of the border, reinforcing as well their surveillance and see how they can stop the people. But if you know that, and that exists for some mechanism, for example, but if you know that a person is a trafficker, you need to pass this information worldwide. If it's known in your justice system, this must be shared internationally, that the person cannot then go to another country and continue its business. So that's the exchange of information, which is essential. But then, because they are rich, because they take the money of the people, they have all this capacity to pay. It's easy if you have a lot of money to actually bribe people and try to facilitate the movement. So it has to do also with the fact that people can be corrupt, and if they receive money, they may close their eyes. So it let that go. It has to do with ignorance, and that's why also we inform not only the population, but those officials at borders. There are situations which is you have evidence that this is a trafficking process. If you have a mother who is traveling with 7 children and she says it's hers while they all have the same age, I think basically this would be impossible. So that is an element which indicates that it might be a trafficking network. And so that needs to be known by those, and they need to be vigilant and really jump on any occasion to question. And I think every one of us have a responsibility in a society to actually ask the question, because we are touching really the dignity of people. It's so important that we all feel responsible and accountable to save those people who may end up in terrible situation.
Indeed. Let's go take some calls now. 012770993, 2771993, 2772993, and 2773993. Again, I'd like to hear from people who survived this before, who've been through this journey before, just to share their story as briefly as possible. We have somebody on Skype. Let's see who this person is. Hi, good morning to you. Let's
Hi, good
go take
morning.
some Good morning to you. How you doing?
Yeah,
2770993,
yeah, I'm good. Okay.
2771993. Yeah.
So, Sharif, illegal migration in was a big right now, especially along Niger and Mali.
Hmm.
Are you hearing me?
I'm with you.
Along that route, where most of our people try to go to Europe from there, and I must tell you, these guys, in fact, over there, Mali and Niger, they already look, they speak French, but they know what is Japa,
Hmm.
and they know it's Nigerians. In fact, they have brackets that make business through it. When they see Nigerians and they see you are new, they will meet you, they will approach you, they will try to, you want to Japa, they will help you to cross along yes, along the Libya route, and which is not even an assurance because you have to pay them. And our ladies, especially, these people take pride when they sleep with Nigeria. Sorry, when they do things with our ladies, they see as the big people, as the big brother, and then so they have nothing to do with Nigerian people. They take pride. Some know what they face on the road. Some they shops on the road, and you are in the road. They just use the way they describe it. Okay, you guys small boats, you sorry bad road. And they and then when they get the they wait for you and then and they stop. Yeah, people majority fail. Majority and have to pay
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your thought. Appreciate it. Let's see if we can take this call. Hopefully, it'll be brief. Good to you. Good to you. Welcome. Yes, please.
Mali, that's again it has to be the president. What they do is they do that, and they then can be extorting money from their family back home in area. So they should also check that out. It's very common now.
Right.
As I'm talking to you now, I know somebody that has been freed, and the person cried out. It was not an easy thing. So that route should be checked.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your thought. I'm going to take a few messages here, and then we'll head out. When we return from this next break, we'll talk about stranded people, what IOM has been able to do to help stranded, people, because we have people, we see today, we see how people being returned back, from Libya and the rest of those countries into the country. I have this message here from Ayola who says, your guest is spot on. This agent tell different stories about these countries. Right now in UAE, so many Nigerians are stranded there, willing to return. Cities like Ajman and Sharjah in UAE, see hello. Most people I know ran back. Okay. All right. I can't take any calls at this moment because I need to head out Lagos. Let's go to break. When we return, we will talk some more. Stay here with us, please. Don't go anywhere.
Leading the conversation.
We black people must understand what is really going on.
Import milk, sugar, toothpaste, handkerchief, pencil. We don't make.
Presenting the facts and access to pour out your mind.
Every time you bring in a shipload of rice, you also bring in a shipload of unemployment because you are transferring your wealth to sustain other economies.
So let's look at an Africa that must be free to take care of herself, an Africa that's free from exploitation in broad daylight.
They need jobs. They are children. They've graduated. They've come back home to begin a second child because there's no factory to employ them.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. More conversation. More talk. More. Right after this.
Not be today. Where some small stretch mark. They try shook face on my body. So when I can't get belly na race I carry take raw from am with my bio oil.
Bio oil, they help clear comot all the scars, stretch marks, and patch skin tone. Bio oil, they available for inside all the big shops them and pharmacies where they near you. Bio oil full grand for internet on top Jumia for the Bio oil official store. For more information, I beg contact Bio oil Nigeria on top Facebook to know original Bio oil product. I beg shine your eyes well for this proxy, scratch and text pin. Wait there on top the packet, and you go fit win our wolf recharge card sharp. Them don't stamp Bio oil skincare oil say it dey safe and kajad for adults, plus including person wey get belle. E no sure say your skin go do you one kind, but if e do you, I beg make you stop to the use am. Oh, but wetin be the
good news. I go Samsung store today to buy my A14 phone. They just dash me 17K like that.
The one meaning
Samsung they fling they throw away plenty phones. They call a massive deals promo for some kind of bunga Samsung phones. Check them out. You go see say you go hammer.
Yummy.
Not the only A14 get this awufo. 18K dash day for A04S, 11K come up fiam for A03 core, and 10K for A04E. And then get travel adapter plenty for those who want buy A14, A24, A34, and A54. It's just go get your Samsung phones for authorized stores where they select. Make it for benefit from these massive deals. Or in a way market still.
Leadway, we give you more. You're safe and secure with the power of more. There's more to Leadway, you can be sure. More wealth and good health for you, there's more. There's more to generational wealth. There's more to Leadway, get more with Leadway. Secure your future and your health. There's more to Leadway, get more with Leadway. To serve you well, we put them all together. More services to focus on our people. Happy faces everywhere. Your goals are secure. Non-banking financial services surely number one.
Get more with Leadway, your one-stop shop for all your non-banking financial services. Visit one.leadway.com to get started.
The Infinix Note 30 series, the baddest selfless phone. So classy, yet powerful. Put it against another phone and it reverse charges it. A smartphone that doubles as a power bank comes with a long-lasting battery that fast charges with lightning bolt speed. To put it simply, it carries its own weight and pulls the weight of others. Fancy you a phone that makes you a dirty BG? You've got the answer.
Take charge 24/7 with the Infinix Note 30. All-round wireless fast-charging smartphone that charges almost 99% of your other devices.
Every morning is an opportunity to take your hustle to the next level. So, start every day with a great tasting cup of Nescafe 3-in-1. Just add water and enjoy the blend of coffee, creamer, and sugar with that rich, creamy taste you love. To help you start strong and make every morning count. Start strong, finish strong. Nescafe.
No matter what I do, you love me unconditionally. You show up for me every day, no matter when I show you.
A mother's love is unconditional. Nothing serves this love better than a bowl of Indomie. So, show some love with Indomie.
Taste is key and that's how we communicate. Best nourishment in every scoop. Mama, tasty mama, share the love we all together. I love my mama, tasty, nourishing, scoop it.
Your Nutrilicious Bama is now available in sachet.
Yes, it's Jumia's anniversary from the 16th to the 30th of June, and we're definitely flexing you with juicy discounts at affordable prices. Thousands of items, and you can return any item for free. So come flex with us and shop from brands such as Diageo, Nivea, Oraimo, Xiaomi, Adidas, and more. Terms and conditions apply. Jumia, your everyday delivered.
Oh boy, today was so stressful.
Hey, as in everywhere just choke.
You know what would be really cool right now? Hit me. Feel the vibe, leap for the fun. It's cool like Fun Ice. Call the gang and have some more. That's cool like Fun Ice. With the creamy goodness, oh yeah. Be cool like Fun Ice.
Enjoy the taste of creamy goodness with Fun Ice. Available in vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate.
Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays will never be the same with Betway. Take advantage of cash rewards, free bets, free spins, boosted odds, and more with Top Up Tuesday, Free Play Friday, and Super Boost Saturday. Only at betway.com.ng. Terms and conditions apply. No under 18. Bet responsibly.
Moves must be made. My people just to work hard, Dreams and challenges motivate us. But sometimes, when the journey gets tiring, all we need is something to push our limits.
Reactor, ignite your energy, bring out your inner champion. Reactor, reactor, ignite your energy, bring out your inner champion. Reactor.
Reactor Energy Drink. What you need to push your limits.
Wahala, reactor energy drink. Push your limits, no dey tire. No way, reactor energy drink. Reactor.
Push your limits.
This is the University of Africa. Here, the most important qualification is imagination, because here, everyone has a reason.
Stunts, beats.
What's your reason? We want to hear it from you. Imagine it with you. Maybe even make it a reality for you. Follow at Airtel Nigeria on all social media platforms for more details. T's and C's apply.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
The round table is back. I recall that the former Minister for Interior, Laurent, said that people go in as dogs and come out as lions.
I don't think the Nigerian government actually took the time to look at it from a holistic perspective.
And it's just really painful because it seems as though that, with every new government, we tend to miss the previous government.
It's just like you put human beings to live as pigs inside a place. How do you correct such? I don't even know who gave them the idea of changing the name.
The round table. This June 28th, 10 a.m. to 12 noon, 29th, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., and 30th, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Be part of the table on 99.3 Lagos, 92.3 Port Harcourt, and 95.1 Abuja. Let's talk.
I would just say that we're all stakeholders in the business of building Nigeria.
Come and give me some flavor. Yeah, I want my flavor. Golden penny noodles. Yeah, that's why I get my flavor.
Golden penny noodles now available in chicken flavor, jollof chicken flavor, goat meat pepper soup flavor, and jollof hot flavor nationwide. Golden penny noodles. I want what I want.
Golden penny noodles. Me, I just want my flavor. Okay.
Behind every child's first step is a great mom. First words, first birthday, first day at school. Great moms are there all the way to care and to nurture. And with the Pears Baby range, you choose to put your baby first. Available in lotion, oil, cream, and jelly, and made of natural mild ingredients. Pears is pure and gentle for all your baby skincare needs. Put your baby first today with the Pears Baby range of products.
Every need, every want, whether urgent or long term, call 0700 5500. For loans to drive your plans into reality, call 0700 5500. We rain money, advance your business, pay school fees or buy that car. 0700 5500.
Whether it's a business or a personal need, there's a loan for that at Rain Money. Call 0700 5500 or visit rainmoney.com. Everything money, Rain Money.
Imagine a life with zero worries.
Flip to Page Financials for loans done right. Page Financials offers instant loans that keep you on track. No matter what life throws your way, you can get up to 5 million naira when you need it most. Apply for a loan with Page Financials today. Visit www.pagefinancials.com or call 01-700-7243 to get started.
Naija people with the yarn better tori abeg.
He found the gold and asked her for just shikini piece of the pie, and she killed him for it.
Obìnrin.
Fair women.
No one tells a story like we do. Watch Wura and other international shows on Showmax, Africa's original streaming service. Sign up at showmax.com.
Uncle Dentist, what are cavities? And how does Colgate protect my teeth from cavities? Does it use Kung Fu?
No, dear. Most tooth pains are caused by tooth holes called cavities. When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavities.
It's time to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Keeps cavities out!
Colgate is recommended by the Nigerian Dental Association.
See, everybody with him own wahala. Every day comes with its own version of challenges, and you have to be ready to face them, because only then can you move on to the next. That's why I never miss my breakfast. Scratch that! My peak protein breakfast with the nutrients and energy I need to face each day, one challenge at a time.
Every day is a good day to power on with Peak Protein Breakfast. Have you had yours? Peak. Reach for your peak.
When you first get belle, it dey be like say now 1,000,000 stretch mark products na in dey market, but you trust other women wey carry belle like you. Na so I take discover bio oil and I dey use am every day.
Bio oil dey help clear comot all the scars, stretch marks and patch skin tone. Bio oil dey available for inside all the big shops dem and pharmacies wey dey near you. Bio oil full ground for internet on top Jumia for the Bio oil official store. For more information, abeg contact Bio Oil Nigeria on top Facebook to know original bio oil product. Abeg shine your eyes well for the Sprock seal, scratch and text pin wey dey on top the packet. And you go fit win our Wolf recharge card sharp. Dem don stamp Bio oil skincare oil say e dey safe and kajad for adults, plus including person wey get belle. E no sure say your skin go do you one kind, but if e do you, abeg make you stop to dey use am.
Have you been searching for a reliable source of power? Are you tired of poor, inconsistent, and expensive power supply? Worry no more. Now introducing BB Jump, a leading brand in the solar energy industry in Africa. BB Jump provides authentic quality solar home solution products and energy storage batteries. With our high volt and low volt lithium-ion battery and hybrid inverters, you're sure of a steady source of power supply as we put you in charge of how you generate and use your electricity. Switch over to the smooth, easy side of life with BB Jump Solar. Guess what? You can join our winning team as a dealer or distributor across Nigeria and Africa as we bring our products closer to users at huge discounts. For more information, contact us on 0908-7595-484 or send a mail to service@bwebwejump.com indicating your interest. BB Jump Solar. Enjoy easy life with electricity.
That friend will shop for you where you go fit rely on. And no matter the weather, he go always dey your side. Opportunity yakba everywhere.
Need a customized account with zero bank charges? Smooth banking with no stress? Choose the partner that enables limitless possibilities. Free transfer to other banks, free ATM card, and delivery. Download Paralex Bank app now.
Open account with Paralex Bank.
Paralex Bank.
Some like it hot, some like it cold, some like it in a mug, some like it on the road. That's right! Whatever your hustle, stay refreshed and ready with the creamy, great-tasting new Nescafe Ready to Drink. It comes in a convenient pack with a straw, so you can enjoy it anywhere, anytime. No dulling. Nescafe Ready to Drink. Refresh for the hustle.
Now we're back on the Morning Crossfire.
The nation's number one talk station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. It's 8:39 from our studios here in Lagos. You're welcome. If you're just joining us, we appreciate your time here if you've been with us all morning. Today, we're speaking on irregular migration, and I have the Chief of Mission of International Organization of Migration on the show today, Laurent the Boeck here. Mr. Laurent, thank you again for finding time to join us on the show today. Yeah,
pleasure. Thank you.
So before we go and hear from people again, let's talk about stranded people. What's been your effort? What's the situation like, first and foremost, and what's been IOM's effort at helping these people?
Well, the organization tries to be present where people need us. Means that we have offices located in quite a lot of places in the world. If we take the example of Libya, we are there. We have several offices, and But there are some areas where migrants are where we can't go. So we have also to work with communities there to pass the message, the fact that we exist and we can offer assistance if needed. Once the migrant who is stranded is aware of our existence and the fact that we can support, then we create a link and we define or we see the intention. We support only those who mention that they would like to come back home voluntarily. So we don't take them if they are forcibly returned. So that's not our role. But let's imagine that they ask for this. So we tailor our assistance to the person. So we do a personal return and reintegration process. So we'll see all aspects of the person: mental health, physical health, and then the aspiration for future. What's your qualification? If you don't have what your skills, we can empower you with, and we work on the reintegration itself to basically respond to what is the root cause, is the main reason why they left, which is in 90% the case, employment. So we put them in vocational training. But I said something important is the mental health. I think I noticed that it's the first thing to look at, because people have been abused, have been deceived. It's a disappointment as well, not only for themselves, but to come back here with the hope of the family, the community around. There is quite a social pressure. So they need to be really well equipped to come back. So the well-being is essential. So that's a very important aspect to work on. Then when this is done and the physical aspects, if in case they have been sick or they've been abused, is done, we work on their reintegration economically. They can open businesses. We work with the private sector. We position them. We provide them with the skills, and we accompany them in continuing and reintegrating for a certain number of months. So that's the tailored approach. But we also have to do it at the community level. So it's not only that one person comes back, but it's one example of maybe others in the community who may have done the same or would like to do the same. So if we provide support to one, it should actually spread around. And so we work also at community level. So with the family circle or a larger circle around each. So the number of people approaching us, for example, from Libya is quite important. So we organize charters return now from Libya to Benin City, to Lagos, also to Kano. Kano, we have more and more people actually who have left Kano.
Returning from Libya?
Yeah, from Libya, particularly in Niger. So we see an important number there who are stranded and who call our offices and say, I want to come back. So that's, we try to be present everywhere, to work with organizations on the ground to pass the message that we can offer services for those. But I'm certain that there are quite a lot of people who are not aware, who would like desperately to come back, but they don't know where to turn to. And so we have to pass the message that we exist and there are ways to come back in dignity.
Indeed. I mean, look, when we're talking about stranded people, most of us still don't understand why they are stranded. Could you break that down for us? Because the reason I'm going back to this is because the message we read earlier about someone who wrote about this very prevalent in the UAE, he or she mentioned Ajman and Sharjah, and he said people are seeing hell. Like, what do you think this person means by saying people are seeing hell?
Well, that's an important aspect. If you go to a country without knowing the regulation of the country, you'll be against the immigration law and the labor law. So it means that there is punishment. It's in any country they will apply a certain law and regulating the market, the entry on the territory or entry on the labor market. If you don't have the right paper, you may have to hide all your life, basically, because if you know that someone arrests you, you go to jail. And so, or you start to have to pay the taxation, because countries have put in place mechanisms by which any person pay taxes on their earnings. So some countries, to also limit the entry on the labor market, put taxation systematically just on the stay in the country. So if you don't know this, you may then be fined. So you may go to jail for a certain time, or you will be fined an amount that you must pay, and then someone is following you. So that might be one aspect. Then when that starts, you have a certain salary. The condition of work, because you are not regulated either, might be actually extremely bad. So you may have to work for extremely long hours, 7 days a week, with a very minimal salary, which doesn't even allow you to pay those taxation. So the only way is to actually go further and further, to work more under harsher conditions. And some end up, and the people on the other side, they know that actually you have no other choice. So you would accept anything to be able to pay those things, because otherwise you will be put in a plane and returned forcibly, which is with a stamp in your passport, which doesn't allow you to travel anymore. So some others are then exploited. Women, unfortunately, are the first victims in sexual exploitation. So then they enter into a vicious circle. And that may be what she refers to in entering into hell. It's also, you don't see the future, because even if you want to come back, it's just impossible, because you don't have the means.
You don't have the money. You don't have what it takes to come back.
Exactly.
So essentially, you're stranded.
You're completely stranded.
You're just working from hand to mouth. Your situation perhaps is even worse than while you're in your home country.
No, exactly. And some people, the smugglers may tell them, okay, you give me that amount and I'll bring you to Italy. What you don't know is that when you are passing through Libya, suddenly they tell you that the price has changed and it's doubled. So you have to start working there under the difficult situation. And people know that you have no other choice, so they will exploit you. And so that's what happens. And because it's not that there is a contract, it's that you just pay someone. It's not like you cannot just complain and say, I disagree with what you told me. It's over. You are now stranded in a country. You don't have the means to come back. You have paid basically everything. You have just to start working under harsh conditions to get money to pay the continuation of your travel, which is also there are harsh conditions. We have people dying at sea. In the Mediterranean Sea is the most dangerous crossing point in the world. So we see it with Greece, but it's in the central, from Libya to Italy. It's extremely complex. And they put hundreds of people on boats which cannot afford actually such a number.
Right.
And so we have the highest toll of death is in that route. So, and even if they arrive, they end up also in irregular situation with what I describe of not respecting the law. So all the police and law enforcement agencies in those countries can just catch them and return them.
Right. During the break, you spoke to me briefly about the plight of Nigerians who are working in Côte d'Ivoire. Could you take me through that again as to what Nigerians are going through, Nigerians in this case?
Yeah, so we have noticed that there is quite a drastic increase of Nigerians going to Côte d'Ivoire, working, and the working conditions also are very harsh. So it's in agriculture, so it's not that it's a most pleasant job. You just have to be outside collecting cotton or other aspects and working on for hours for a very minimal wage. And Nigerians became the first nationality of workers who are not regulated in the country. In
Côte d'Ivoire?
In Côte d'Ivoire.
In Ivory Coast?
Yeah, exactly.
First nationality?
Yeah, it surpassed now the Burkinabe, which has always been for not a century, but quite a long period.
A number of
the
period.
The direct neighbor, they were the ones working in Côte d'Ivoire. Now Nigerians are the first nationality of foreigners in the country working in the agriculture field.
That breaks my heart, actually. It's really painful. Let's take this one here from Wale, who said, majority of the agents who traffic are ladies to countries such as Oman, Egypt, Dubai, amongst others, work hand in hand with Nigerian immigration officers who mostly help in getting them passport at the same time, and their movement at the Murtala Mohammed Airport. This individual is saying that there are state connivance as well at some level. Have you had cause to experience that before?
For the women, indeed, we know that
that's human traffickers now.
It's human traffickers, so it's exploitation. So trafficking means that the intention to move you abroad, or internally, but the movement is ending with the intention of abusing you, exploiting you. So it's correct that a lot of
please go on.
A lot of women are proposing others to go for domestic work.
Yeah.
So they trust them because sometimes they are part of the community, even part of the family. So there is this trust relationship which exists. So they have to pay to get a job abroad as a domestic worker. But when they arrive there, either they work indeed in domestic work, but nobody has ever told them the conditions of work, which is basically around the clock, you don't never stop. Some people we know, they don't even have a bed. They receive nothing. They just have to work. That's it. The salary is minimal. They can't even afford calling their family because they have no access to the telephone. So the conditions are, it's exploitation. Others, which I've seen also Nigerians in other countries, they end up not at all in the domestic work, but in prostitution. So the intention is to bring them to another type of work, which is, if we can call that a work. So it's true that there are people that you wouldn't imagine being actually the recruiters. They can be people you trust because you know them, or it's a friend of the family or friend of the community. So a lot of women are involved in recruiting other women for such type of exploitation.
Such a shame. But we have to leave it here, Mr. Laurent. I have plenty of other questions that I'm hoping I would be able to ask you, but man, there's a lot to talk about. I was hoping we'll talk about the country strategy for Nigeria, a 5-year strategic plan, but my time is far spent. I was really looking forward to that conversation. Mr. Laurent, the Boeck, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for welcoming me. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure, and thank you for the good work that you do at IOM, and thanks to the rest of your team as well for doing a great job. Lagos, that's our show today. I'll see you all on Monday, 5 a.m. I'm Sheriff Quadry. Daily Digest with Jimmy Disu is next. Good morning to you.
God.
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those. Those that need to be fired get fired. It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not.